First week of games coming up. What are the 2011 baseball team's goals and expectations?
Well, our expectations are definitely very lofty. We haven't made the conference tournament, I believe, in the history of the program, and that's one of the biggest goals that we have right now. Is we need to be in the top 6 and make the conference tournament. I think if we make the conference tournament, we're going to be at least 500. That's another one of our goals. We definitely want to get better on the mound, on defense, and offensively. The 3 big things in baseball. But the big thing is finding a way to learn how to win. We've played a lot of close games over the years, and we just haven't had that little extra push to get over the edge to where we start winning those close games. And I think with this group that we have this year, we're very experienced. This is our first class of seniors that, with me as the coach. This is my first recruiting class for our seniors. So the expectations are very high.
Talk about your veteran pitching staff and what you expect out of them this year.
Well, last year was a big jump on our pitching staff. And I know it's something to talk about last year compared to this year, but we made a huge jump. We dropped our team ERA by 2.5 runs last year. And I definitely expect us to do even better this year. One of the things that we have to do is we have to cut down on our walks. We can't give free passes all the time. And we want to find a way to increase our strikeouts. The more we can strike guys out, the less opportunities we have to, or the less pressure we have to put on our defense to make a lot of plays. I believe our pitching staff is going to be pretty good this year.
Who are some of your top pitchers, and what can we expect out of them?
Top pitchers this year are, again, Ryan Trimble, who had a breakout year last year as a sophomore. We expect really good things out of him. Jared Esquina, we need to keep him healthy all year. He's a sophomore. He's coming back after, really, I think he led our team in strikeouts per 9 innings last year. And then Kyle Veazey, who is a veteran left-hander. He's going to have to be a workhorse for us again this year. Finally got his first win last year as a junior, and we need to use him again in a starting role and he'll give us a chance to win on a regular basis. The number 4 spot is pretty wide open. We're going to see how that comes into play, but we've got a few guys that can fill that role.
What about your bullpen? Do you have someone on the back end that could shut games down or always come in situations to fires out?
Absolutely. I feel like this year is going to be our best bullpen that we've ever had here. We've got a freshman who's coming in this year named Chris Allard, who had a tremendous fall. He's looking really good. He's got a good live fastball and a little slider to go with that. And I see him, having a chance to strike out a lot of guys. And it'll be a learning curve for him, but I really do think he'll compete for a closer spot. But, overall, our bullpen's going to be a lot deeper this year, and we're going to have a lot of guys that we're going to be able to go to.
Let's move over to the offensive side. You've got, again, veteran team, Devin Myers. You got Pete Jurich from behind the plate. Talk about a little bit of those guys.
Devin Myers and Pete Jurich, both catchers. Pete actually had the best fall out of all of our hitters this past fall. So he's going to end up looking for some playing time. He's going to spell Devin behind the plate. Devin's an all-conference caliber catcher, so we're very lucky to have him back again this year. But Pete's going to be a guy that's going to have to catch some. But there's going to be times when he's not catching that we're going to DH him because he's become such an offensive threat.
And talk about your middle infield now. You got Luke Crater, Stephen Rose, some of those veterans among that group.
Yeah, we've got Luke Crater's returning for his senior year. He's been one of our guys that's led our team in hitting or been at the top of our hitting every year that he's been here. Stephen Rose, another veteran guy. He's coming into his junior year. He started just about every game. I think he may have not played in 2 or 3 games over the course of his first 2 years. So he's got a ton of experience at shortstop. Both of those guys are very good up the middle. We've also got Jordan Howe, who is a sophomore. He played a lot of third base last year. He's going to battle for some playing time at second base as well. And if that comes to fruition, if he's playing second base, then Luke Crater's also going to have an opportunity to DH as well.
Talk about your corner infielders a little bit.
Corner infield is one of those positions, first and third base, that we really needed to get better this year. We've got two brand new first basemen. Dan Plecki, he's from Parkland Community College. He played in the Division II Junior College World Series 2 years in a row. They won it his freshman year. Last year, I believe they took 5th or 7th, but they battled for a national championship. Joe Emery is also a first baseman who can play a little outfield, very athletic. He's starting to really hit, and we look at those two to really battle at first base a little bit for playing time. Third base, we're returning Drew Garwood, who finally, for the first time in his playing career at Truman, he is 100% healthy, and we look for some really good things out of him. But we've also brought in a junior college player, Scott Doggett, who hails from Gretna, Nebraska. He's really put some pressure on Drew this year, and those two are going to get some playing time early in the season to see see who wins that position. But it's a really good battle right there.
Talk about your outfield a little bit. You've had a lot of speed in the past in the outfield. Is that going to continue this year?
Yeah, we're still pretty quick in the outfield. Michael Reese is back. He's 100% healthy. He played, I believe, in 25 games last year before he went down with an injury. And, I mean, he's really a staple of our not only our defense, but he's a staple of our offense. He's a very fast guy, good arm, and a tremendous hitter. He runs bases well. He's fast. He steals bases. So he's a guy that we're really looking for veteran leadership out of him in the outfield. Then we've got Kenny Swanson, who's played again in just about every single game that we've played his first 3 years. He's back for a senior year. He's had a tremendous fall, and good things are going to happen with him. At right field, we've got two guys that are really battling it out. We've got Cody Strickland, who's a senior. He's an explosive player. His strength is definitely defense, but he's also a base-stealing threat every time he gets on. Now we've got another guy who's battling for that spot as well, Will Nader. Very, very fast. He's our fastest guy on the team. He's anywhere from a 6'5" to a 6'6", 60, which is world-class speed. So we're looking at him to come in and have a chance to battle for that spot and get some playing time as a freshman.
Talk about your offense now. Do you going to be like last year, a lot of doubles, gap type situations, or are you going to have some bombers this year?
Yeah, I believe our offense is going to be a doubles type of a team. I mean, that's sort of the way we recruit. We played a pretty big field, so the fly balls aren't really going to travel out on a regular basis. Now we do have a pretty big man at first base in Dan Plecki, who has the potential to hit 10 to 15 home runs. But that's one guy. We build our team around speed, athleticism, and the ability to try to hit it in the gap. And I believe we're going to be able to do that again this year. We'll also be able to play small ball. We're going to be able to bunt, hit and run, and steal bases.
Finally, let's talk about the schedule a little bit. You get started this weekend, but talk about the conference. There's a lot of conference games. In fact, the predominant of the schedule is conference. What do you see in that?
The schedule, it really lines up good for us. We start off with some teams that we should have a chance to win some games early. I'd really like to see us start off, 8-2, 7-3, to sort of build that momentum and build some confidence this year. And I believe we've got a chance to do that. We're going to have to do some work early in the year because we finished the season with Nebraska, Omaha, and Central Missouri. And they're traditionally powerhouses of our conference. And I don't think we're going to be able to expect to go into those last two series, the last 8 games of our season, and try to make up or catch up with teams. We're going to have to do it early throughout the beginning and the middle of our season. And hopefully, I really feel like we've got a chance to compete with those two teams, but we better be ready early in the season to have a chance to make the conference tournament.
Thanks, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you, sir.